Hello, my name is Caden. It appears the door handle does not work from the outside. Well, and that's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. How to fix this door handle. So it works from the inside latch, but it will not work from the outside latch. Well, it's a pretty common issue on the C and H bodies. All the ones that I've ever been associated with, it has always been this driver rear door that ends up having the issue. Sometimes they just won't even open at all, but it does require removing this door panel. I'm gonna explain how to do that, and we're gonna find the issue and repair it. So stick with me here. These should be the only tools you need. You'll need something with like a, I want to say this is a T15 Torx or T10 Phillips head screwdriver, on the bigger side of the bit, 10mm wrench, little pry bar or flathead screwdriver, panel remover tool for the clips on the door panel, and then you may need a pliers. If there's anything else, I'll be sure to mention it later on. So the first thing I normally like to do is start with this little Torx bit. Go ahead and pull this handle back, and then you can remove it. And you will have to it'll come off the lock button here, and you will kind of have to twist it to get it off the handle. So yeah, after you've got it flipped around, you can get it off. Don't unclip this. Be very careful that all of these little things don't fall out. Set that aside with your screw wherever that went, and keep that in a safe place. Next, we're going to go to this ashtray and power window switch, and you see this little tab in here. You gotta get a pry bar or just some little flathead screwdriver, and you gotta pry this up and out. I actually went and grabbed a flathead screwdriver, so you'll push it inward and pry down like this way. And you can get this to pop up, and then pull forward to get this little metal hook off, and then you can pull this out, and you've got a bunch of wiring here, so you will have to unplug all of these things. The cigarette lighter has two little plastic tabs, and if you can get it off with one hand, that's great. If not, you're gonna have to mess with it. So unplug that, and then these, it's hard to twist this around, you don't get a lot of length, but you got to get these little tabs, the bigger ones, up, just these two, and pull the window switch out. I'm gonna have to probably do that off the camera because it's gonna be a little difficult. You may have to use your pry bar a little bit. Just be careful when you're messing with it. Alright, so I got that piece removed. There is another one you'll have to unplug, but you'll have to do that a little later. Either way, we got that out of the way, so we got access to one and two screws. Now there's also, underneath this handle, there's one, and then there's a second screw, and then there's hidden ones. You gotta pry this guy out, and then you see there's these little parts you can squeeze. This is actually a light, so you gotta unplug it like so, and lightly set that aside. And then there's a hidden screw in there as well, and I believe that should be it for all of the large screws. Alright, now that we got all our screws removed, we can go around and lightly pry with our hand. Now sometimes you might need the little panel remover tool. Alright, so this is what we're looking like after we pull that off. Now we do have some tape here. Normally that's not here, but I unfortunately have been in here before. I'm trying not to tear this, but this thing's so old and garbage anyway, it'd be easier to just, be nice to just have a new one. But find which one is so we know which one's our inner latch. Now if I can get my hand in here, let's see. It looks like, alright, so I believe I found what's wrong. Now this might be upside down. So it's actually connected. This big arm here is supposed to move, but it looks like this plastic piece slid down the rod too far to not let the button push enough, so it's not releasing it. So I have to pry this off and readjust it. So I may or may not have to remove the whole door handle. However, I will have to pop this out of its clip spot. So I'll get my pliers for that and try to squeeze on that and get that to pop out. I may even have to replace the part. Well, after fighting the pliers and getting your hand in there, that hole is empty. I had no choice but to break the stupid piece off, because they give you literally, I mean, this is my hand. They give you no room, and your hands are going to look like this after that. Just promise yourself that they will. But now that we got that out, we're completely free. So this does nothing on this side. There's a bar it pushes down, but yeah. So we gotta actually remove it to put our new piece on. And it's so hard to tell. Let's see. But there are two 10mm bolts up there. Okay, so there's one there, and there's one up behind like the window track. It's literally up behind the window track. It's somewhere in there. My camera won't focus. It's up there somewhere. You have to use the little wrench, and there's two of those 10mm, and you're able to pull this door handle out. So that's what I'm going to work on and curse at for the next 10 minutes. Alright, so I've returned from the parts store, and I've got this kit from Dorman. It came with an assortment. I couldn't just find the individual, so I got the assortment because it looks like a couple of these probably would work. But the one that was on it was a black one, so I clipped this one back on, and I spun it a few times to kind of create some threading inside the plastic here. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to apply a little glue, like a super glue, inside of these threads here. And when I get it lined up where I want it to be, before I snap this piece in that hole, you remember that hole? We fought to get that piece out, the pliers. We'll snap that in the hole when we've got it adjusted enough to where it won't be too short or too long of a press, if that makes sense. So got that clipped on. Now we're gonna go back out to the car and go from there. Alright, so I applied a little glue on there, spun it around, and I got it adjusted and clipped in, although it might be impossible to see. Now what I'm not going to do, you can barely see it, don't use your latch yet. I'm going to wait for that to harden, because the last one only lasted a handful of times. Now I got the other bolt, the first bolt up there threaded back in for the handle, but now the second one. So I need to mention that there was another tool I used to get it out, and I'm going to use it to get back in, put it back in. Now a little trick, an old trick, is to put a little piece of cloth in the socket, and that way the bolt doesn't just fall out. But I got a magnet stick ready just in case it does fall down in the door, so don't worry about that. And then so we're going to try to get it up and back into its home. Now it is possible because I got it out, just be patient with it, but I just thought I'd share that. So we're going to put everything back together now, and install is the reverse of removal, so I'm not going to show any of that, but I'll show you that it works when we're all done. Alright, so we've got our door card put back together. Make sure you line this up so you can lock and unlock it still. And we're ready to test her out. Here we go. Hopefully it doesn't break. It shouldn't. And there we have it. Do one more. Oh, either way. Works. I'm missing center caps, I know. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope this helps out. Somebody who has this car, they're really not that hard to do. Getting your hand in there is a little tough. The smaller the hands, the better, of course. Either way, I hope it helped somebody. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch y'all in the next video with this car. Take care.